So hopefully you have already read the information on color and color theory. What I want to talk about right now is specifically complementary colors. So what's really cool about complementary colors is that when you put them next to each other, they create this energy and they bounce off of one another, and it creates visual interest more so than any other color combination. So if you put for instance, the example I'm going to be using here today is red and green, which are opposites, which essentially is a opposite on the color wheel, which is a complementary color. If you put them next to one another, they vibrate. And what you'll notice about this is a lot of logos and design work and a lot of paintings as well use complementary colors because they're so bold when they're used together. So a good way to remember your complementary colors is red and green is Christmas, yellow and purple is LSU, and then of course orange and blue is Auburn. And again, you'll notice that you'll see them in a lot of ads and in a lot of especially team sports logos. Okay, so they vibrate when they're next to each other, but what is really cool is that when you mix them together, they do the opposite and they dull out and turn brown. So what I'm going to show you today is taking red and green complementary colors and mixing them together to create a brown. Look at that. So quickly they turn brown. It may be a little hard to tell, but it is definitely brown. Now, there are two things I can do if I want to make this brown lighter. I could add extra medium, and what that does is separate the pigment a little bit more, and it can lighten it. You can add a little bit of the Gamsol, and it'll do the same thing. You can also add white. Be sure that you're cleaning off your palette knife. You mix that together. And you can see, hopefully, that this brown has a lot of red in it. So let's say that I need it to be a darker, let's say that I need it to be less red and more of a mid-tone brown. You just add its counterpart, a little bit of green, to kind of balance out that red. So now you've got a pretty medium brown, but it's darker than what we had before. So layering paint makes things darker. Thinning them out with Gamsol makes them lighter. Adding white obviously will make something lighter. You can also add black to something. However, I usually like for students to stay away from that because tube black is manufactured. It doesn't have the true pigments that make up a black. So in some of my other classes, I make students make their own black. And so you can make your own black if you want to have a full range of colors and a richer painting in the end. And what you do is you just mix the three primary colors together evenly, and it will turn out black. It can be frustrating at first because you're probably not used to making your own black. Let's say that it goes a little too red. You just need to add a little bit more of the blue, but it is kind of a balancing act. But it will give you a nice, rich, pigmented black. And then when you want to darken something, like say you want to darken your red, if you don't have a darker red color already, you can add your mixed black and you'll get a full, dark, rich red, and it'll look so much better in the end. So when it comes to your complementary color painting, you're going to be using your complementary colors. You do not have to use red or green. You can use blue and orange or purple and yellow, whatever your heart desires. And just let me know if you guys have any questions about that next project.